You want something better?
Budget for your gadget with Joel Dela Cruz.
We are back with a brand new gadget to talk about. It's called Budget for Your Gadget, brought to us by our friends from 𝐂𝐀𝟓𝟎. Make sure to check them out at 𝐂𝐀𝟓𝟎.com.ph or go to an 𝐂𝐀𝟓 branch near you. We got our techno boys, David and 𝐁𝐁𝐂, talking about a brand new laptop.
Hello.
What is it all about? Give it to them.
All right. So here's the thing. Before we start, I want to talk about, I know all you Budget for Your Gadget fans, you're seeing this new gadget, you're going to be like, oh, what is it this time?
I like the confidence. You call them fans.
Okay.
We have an audience.
Supporters.
Yeah, supporters. Let's say the supporters.
All right.
There we go. Better term. Thank you.
Yeah.
So all the Budget for Your Gadget supporters, or those of you guys that like to budget.
For your gadget.
Exactly. We know you guys always want to learn about new gadgets.
Of course,
right?
of course.
You guys want to know what 𝐂𝐀𝟓🎏 has in store for us, and you're seeing this new gadget, and you're like, wow, it's another laptop. What a surprise.
No, here's the thing. Laptops, I'd say one of the most versatile gadgets and one of the most vital ones because of the amount of things you could work on it. And we're providing the specific laptops that are able to bring so much to the table.
Yeah. And one thing about Budget for Your Gadget, guys, is we need to show different
varieties.
types, different varieties of the gadget. So even though we show one laptop, we gotta show other ones to, in case one's too expensive, one's not powerful enough. We gotta show that you guys have options out there.
Exactly.
And speaking of options, our friends over at 𝐂𝐀𝟓🎏 have sent us another fire option right here.
Look at this thing. You guys are looking at the Asus TUF Gaming A15. A 15.6-inch laptop for your gaming needs.
Yeah, so a lot of features with this laptop. Let's break it down. So, I kind of want to start this time with the nerdy stuff.
Specs.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk specs.
Yeah, I know you nerds out there want to know what kind of specs we're running here. Well, we have for the CPU, we have the AMD Ryzen 7.
Okay, that's good.
You guys are familiar with the brand AMD, more on the gaming side.
Yeah, but more compared to Intel, they're more catered to gaming, and I'd say it would be equivalent to an Intel i7, if I'm not mistaken.
Somewhat, yeah. But there are very different nuances.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Let's not get too nerdy here. Yeah. All right. So, and then we're also rocking for the graphics card on RTX 2050.
That is fast.
Yeah, for what do you call this? For the price range, I would say it's not that bad. Which we'll be mentioning later.
We'll save for
exactly. You guys know the drill. But yeah, another key thing to note is that the base storage for this is 500 gigabytes.
Nice, okay.
Yeah, so you get SSD storage, so it's super fast.
That's good.
Yeah.
In terms of playing games, you won't have a problem because the transfer
boot times, on everything.
You won't have a hard time with that. Okay, but yeah.
Yeah, and then we also have some RAM. This is what I really like. The base RAM for this is 8 gigabytes.
Yeah.
And then you can upgrade it later.
Yeah, you can still upgrade it?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Exactly. So they already give you the good stuff. And then they're gonna let you upgrade it as well.
I love that. Okay.
Another thing to note is this. Okay, this is a bit on the nerdier side. Let's just say the RAM of this is pretty fast. It's DDR5, which is the latest generation. So a lot of things to talk about with that. But you guys can do more research on it if you want.
Yeah.
But long story short, this thing moves fast.
I get that. Let's talk about the screen. You were talking about fast. We're talking about 144 hertz in terms of the screen display.
All right. What does that mean? What does the hertz mean for those of us uneducated in the hertz department?
Basically, that's the refresh rate of the monitor. So when it comes to moving things, if you're moving around, a lot of movement happening on screen, it's going to be smooth as butter.
I get you. So basically when you're dragging apps around.
Things, a lot of movement, you're not going to miss a single thing because the screen's going to refresh 144 hertz.
Oh, all right. That's so good to know. Especially, something I want to point out is kind of the real world applications.
Of course.
We've already addressed the fact that this is a gaming machine, right? AMD already mentioned that. No problem. But something I noticed about the refresh rate, you said it's very it prevents a lot of blurring or choppiness.
Yeah.
That's really good for editing, I would say.
That's true. I'd say if you're, the thing is it has the power for good heavy editing. And I'd say if you're an animator, let's say, you don't want to miss any movement.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
So this has the power to handle rendering and animation, and then you won't be missing a single frame.
Yeah, I think that's super important as well because especially when you're working with, videos, you need to know how smooth it is actually.
Exactly.
You don't want to be restricted to your screen. And this thing won't restrict you at all.
Of course, we got to mention, for the gamers out there, let's say a lot of movement happening on screen, a lot of projectiles coming your way, you're not going to miss a single thing.
Yeah, so you guys can stop complaining about, oh my gosh, I didn't
see it.
I didn't see him. I didn't see him coming. I didn't see the bullet.
Because with this thing, you're going to see absolutely everything.
Yeah, so now we'll figure out if you're really just bad at the game or if your laptop is bad.
Another thing I want to mention is the way it looks. This is sporting a graphite black design.
Ooh, that's a lot different from a lot of the stuff we've had here before. Yeah.
What I like that they mentioned, they add this fancy thing like graphite black or performance blue. It looks so. But the thing is, this looks like a space station. If you guys are seeing on playback.tv/magic899, this thing has a specific design. It's not matte. I don't know specifically what it's called, but I really like this kind of look because it gives it texture while looking clean.
That's true. And something I noticed as well is this is very good for not having fingerprints on it.
True.
So if you guys are kind of tired of your old laptops gathering so much fingerprints and it looks so ugly and you gotta wipe it every time,
it's not gonna be
right here. Yeah. Right here. We got a laptop that won't give evidence of your presence.
Crime scene, dude.
Exactly.
We have the mandatories. We got RGB keyboards looking really sick.
Yeah, if you guys are gaming in the middle of the night and you need to see your keyboard, no problems. And it's full RGB, so not that fake RGB where it's like, oh, you can only make it red, green, or blue. I'm talking the full range. You can just open the app that's present in the laptop, pre-download it, and boom, you can change it to any color you want.
One of the main things I like about this too is they advertise it as very durable. This looks like
it looks tough.
They do say it is called tough.
Yeah.
So they say it's
military
grade in terms of its durability.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you want to test that right now? I'm going to chuck it across the room.
No, please. It looks sturdy as heck. I'm carrying it right now.
It's
a sturdy bad boy.
Yeah, when we were moving it in here, I'm telling you, I could have dropped it and it probably would have been fine. Don't test that, but
I'm telling you guys, it's like a space station what this is.
Yeah.
From the design to the power, I'd say it's a good pick.
Might as well launch it into space and see what happens, right? But
people are probably wondering now, how much is this thing?
Of course.
I want to get it. It looks nice. You've been glazing it for the past few
I know.
So how much is it? How can I get it?
Okay, well, our friends over at Asianic. They're going to strike us another deal. So we have a price of 45,995
That is not
pesos.
bad at all.
That is not bad. But here's the thing, guys. I'm sure you guys are like, okay, that's not bad, but I still have to upgrade it and stuff. Let's calm down a bit.
Yeah.
All right? Because included in that 45,000 or 46,000 pesos will have a free 8GB RAM memory upgrade upon purchase. Yes.
You're telling me that if they buy through Asianic, they're going to get 8 more gigabytes?
For free. Just like that. They'll install it right there. Right in front of you.
That's a lot of RAM.
If you need it, it's right there.
The thing is, that's gonna make things so much smoother in the background, But
so, if you guys also want to expand the storage later on, that one's not free, but you can also go over to Asianic and you can purchase another SSD storage from them and have it installed in.
Absolutely beautiful.
They got us covered with that free RAM upgrade, 8GB for free, 46,000 pesos.
Love that.
Over at Asianic, they got our backs with that one.
I love that.
Let's talk about price. Did you guys talk about price?
Yes, we did. Yeah.
I love it. How much was it again?
46,000 pesos.
Love it. I knew that. I was testing you guys.
I know.
All right. That was a budget for your gadget. Make sure to drop by an Asianic store near you, or you can go to asianic.com.ph to grab this wonderful laptop here with just ramming some RAM on that RAM.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All
right. Again, budget for your gadget with our Techno Boy.
Yeah.
So tune in.
At Asianic, better people, better service, better deals. You may visit our branches, flash on the screen.